speaking of making things better, we got the god tier Anakin and Obi-Wan flashback from the Attack of the Clones era, and it was, once again, absolutely beautiful. Not only just the flashback in and of itself, but we got to see swole Anakin. Because, right, Hayden Christensen said that he put on, like, 30 pounds of muscle for the Vader role to fill out the suit, so it makes sense that when they filmed the flashback, right, he would be so incredibly jacked compared to the actual 19-year-old Anakin that we see in Attack of the Clones. But I just thought it was absolutely hilarious, and which is wonderful. I love it. And also plays into the whole idea that the whole flashback sequence was from Anakin's point of view, so you know, he would kind of make himself jacked. Let's be honest here.
Of all things I expected, an Attack of the Clones era flashback was not one of them. But I am absolutely not. We are not going to talk about the noises I made when I saw that stupid little Padawan haircut. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I was so happy to see it. So I was like, are they really doing this? And then they did it. And I mean, the fight itself, we could go on for hours about the choreography of it, how it matched up to their duel on Mustafar multiple times, like literally the exact moves they use against each other. We could talk about that for hours, but it was amazing, and both of them looked very good. Return of the Mullet Obi-Wan, kind of loving it.
The superior Obi-Wan look, like I said.
In your opinion?
My opinion is the correct opinion, as we all know.
It's your opinion. I personally think that raggedy, depressed
it is objectively correct.
Is a pretty good look. I like the raggedy, depressed Obi-Wan. But man, that flashback was absolutely like a highlight of the series. I honestly expected more flashbacks with them, but if that is the one they chose, I am very happy with it.
Oh yeah, not only did, we just get a flashback in and of itself, but we also got to see a ye old Last Jedi reference go burr with the whole unreliable narrator shtick, where Anakin is the one telling this story, similar to how Ben Solo was the one telling the story to Rey about how he, became Kylo Ren in the attack on Luke Skywalker's Jedi Temple. We get to see Anakin acting like the quote-unquote hero in this flashback, while, in actuality, Obi-Wan is the one that won the fight, and that's what we get to see at the end of that episode, when the flashback then kind of transitions from Anakin's perspective to Obi-Wan's perspective, where Obi-Wan was able to get around and overpower Anakin and ultimately win the fight because Anakin's own need for victory blinded him, which was the entire point that Obi-Wan was talking about in the present time in this episode. When Vader was chasing after them, his need for victory blinded him to anybody else. All his focus was on Obi-Wan.
I mean, the use of the flashback corresponding to events going on in the current story time was one of the best uses of storytelling I've ever seen Star Wars use. I don't know who wrote that, who directed that. Well, Deborah directed it, but I don't know whose idea that was in the first place. But it was done beautifully. It was so creative. I've never seen anything like it, and it just added so much depth to the current story going on, seeing what was going on in Vader's head and how he was interpreting that flashback.